Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Hello again. Welcome to our show. It's called Talking Real Money because we talk real money issues. The real money issues that affect almost all of us all the time if we are trying to find our way to a brighter future. And that requires saving and investing and avoiding being ripped off. So if you need some help with your money, you need to call us at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. Before you make a decision financially, just get another opinion. You don't have to do what we say. We're not always right. We're right a lot, but we're not always right. You know, like,
well, there isn't always a right or wrong answer.
That's true.
Sadly. I wish there was.
Yeah.
I wish there was a box always to check. There, most of the time there is, but many times there is not.
The truth is really, actually, almost always somewhere between the extremes.
Yeah.
Unless you have a relative who is in the financial services business.
Uh-oh. Yeah?
Then, most of the time, if not, let's just default to all of the time, don't work with them.
You just cost me about half of my book of business.
Oh, yeah, you and your family is
Thanks
investing with you.
I'm going to cut your pay in half now since you said that.
I mean, your son's managing his own portfolio. He manages other people's portfolios.
Yeah, that's okay. That helps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
it's just that you got to be really careful because I remember when I was in my 20s and I was hired by a brokerage firm. I had no experience, none whatsoever, in the world of finance or investing. They didn't teach me a lot about finance or investing, but they made me think I knew a lot. And of course, I had all the experts at their firm behind me. But the reality was I was told to go out and talk to my family members and get them to invest in things that didn't necessarily do much for them, but did a whole lot for the firm and a little bit for me. But mainly, it made the firm a lot of money.
Yeah, they certainly did teach you how to sell, right? I mean, they
no, I was a good. Well, they gave me sales training. Yes, yeah, I was a good salesman before that. But yeah, sure. Man, I got classes from the Cold Call Cowboy, and
there you go.
Everybody was out there. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of young people end up going to work for a brokerage firm, you know, an Ameriprise or a Merrill Lynch or a smaller firms. They go work for insurance companies, and then they call themselves financial advisors. And they're not, right?
Well, they're trained salespeople. That's what I was trying to get to. But here's the thing, and I was surprised to read this from a piece that Clark Howard did about how few people actually use a financial advisor. According to Clark Howard, very well-known radio and podcaster around financial issues, only 1% of America actually uses an advisor. That seems like a low number.
That must be. He must mean, though, a real live fiduciary fee only advisor, because a lot of people have their stockbroker or their insurance agent person to whom they give money.
And my guess, by the way, Don, that the number is so small is because for the last 30 years you've told people they didn't need to.
Well, I didn't, there was a time. No, not the past 30 years. I have finally, I told you the story in 2001.
Yeah.
That was when I began to realize that a lot of people were not capable emotionally.
Behavioral finance.
Yeah. They just didn't have the intestinal fortitude to look past current negative events, and the current negative event that I'm referring to was 9/11.
Of course.
And
so
the calls were like, oh my gosh. So, but today we know that not only are you going to likely be better off with an advisor just emotionally? But I was shocked in that same Clark Howard article. Was it there that there are three? Yeah. There are three
Vanguard,
studies now.
Russell and AXA all found that using an advisor has meant not only keep more money, which is what most people are more concerned about, by the way, than making it, but you've actually improved your returns. Vanguard said it was 3% a year. Russell says it's the impact about plus 3.75% a year. Talk about a way to protect yourself from inflation. And AXA, I mean, they also said that people who ended up with, who use an advisor end up with twice as much money in their employer-sponsored retirement plans because, again, it gets you on the right track and stays on the right track.
That's the point. Yeah, but it's even more than getting on the right track. It's staying on track. Even if you're not on the best track, the fact of the matter is the reason there's that big difference is because we're always falling off the wagon. We're jumping off when we shouldn't be jumping off, and we're jumping on when we shouldn't be jumping on because we react to things that have already happened. And you can't do that. So before you react to something, call us at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. Let's talk about your situation, your specific situation.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Set your course for a great future with a free copy of our 60-page Better Retirement Guidebook at vestory.com, vestory.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Here to help. Give us a call, 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. I'm Don McDonald. Over there, Tom Cock. On the phone, Jerry. Hey, Jerry, welcome to the show.
Thank you. And hello, Ron and John. And anyway.
Yeah, you weren't even close. You weren't nowhere you weren't even in the neighborhood.
That's funny. I like that. Funny is good, Jerry.
I know
that's all right.
Not.
Go ahead, Harry.
You don't know about Ron. It's okay. It's good.
I've listened to Don for most of the 30 years you were talking about. And a concept I haven't heard you talk about for a long time is the idea of dollar cost averaging. And I suspect it's because there haven't been any big downs to dollar cost average into, just a lot of ups. But, the downs are going to come. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of the younger folks need to really get it about dollar cost averaging.
Well, the problem is we don't know. We don't have a lot of younger. We don't have a lot of younger folks listening right now.
Well, no, wait a minute. We do have younger listening to podcasts, by the way. Number two, younger people, hopefully, Jerry, already are doing that because they're putting money into their retirement plans every 2 weeks, so they're getting different prices depending on what's going on with the market. I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. So if you have $500,000, are you suggesting that you put it in slowly over time? Is that what the concept you're alluding to?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the idea of continuous investing with either
and Jerry,
IRA.
We absolutely preach that for anybody who's earning a living because basically earning money is dollar cost averaging from your employer in reverse. So you should dollar cost average forward with that same money. But sometimes we get a lot of calls, and the reason that's Tom's suspicious. Tom has a very suspicious mind.
That's not
so
true.
Suspicious.
Very trusting.
No,
Come
very
on.
suspicious. He's thinking that you're one of those people who says, I have all this money and the market is really high. So you were suspicious. You thought that's what he was thinking.
I get that call at least twice a week. At least twice. I wouldn't want to invest now because the market's at all-time highs, right?
So I want you to forgive poor Ron for that comment.
Thanks, John.
Yeah. You're welcome. No, we're big advocates of dollar cost averaging. As a matter of fact, if you are an investor in your 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s, and you're putting money into your IRA and your 401k and even outside of those accounts, you're putting it in on a regular basis, and the market goes down, you should be thrilled it's going down.
Well, but let's finish the thought. So because we didn't quite get there, the number one call we still get is, I just inherited X. I just got X money. I sold my house, et cetera. What do I do with the money? I want to make sure I'm clear with Jerry that we are not advocating slowly putting the money in, because we know over time, yes, not every year, not even every 2 to 3 years does the market go up, but generally it does. I think it's 75% of months it goes up. It's about 3 out of 4 years.
75%
a year it goes up. So it has an upward. So because people have this, I think I'll put it in and then the market will go down. Okay, were you going to use the money in the next 2 or 3 years? Probably not. So I don't advocate that dollar cost averaging. I do advocate regular contributions, especially if you're building your portfolio through pre-tax, post-tax, whatever account you're putting it into. Totally in favor of that approach.
Okay, I think
talking about.
Yeah, you're talking about the regular earnings thing. Thank you so much for the call, Jerry. We appreciate it. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. 855-935-8255.
Somebody just walked by the house and looked in the window very suspiciously. It's making me nervous. I'm going to run out and check on it, okay?
See, what did I tell you? What did I tell you?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, and then he's going to turn, he has like 14 locks on the front door, even though he lives in some province.
I now know, no, wait, what? This is serious. I can now turn the alarm on from my phone. Doesn't that make you feel better about me?
It scares me a little.
I'm going to turn it on and set the whole thing off or something? No, all right.
All right.
I can also invest from my phone too, by the way.
We got last weekend we had a problem with the recording. So the show did not become a podcast.
Killing us.
And I was really, really, really bummed because one of my favorite calls of all time happened last week from the guy the guy who bought property in California City.
Oh, yeah. We need an update on that. What did you put the deal together?
I did. The deal. Well, I got them in contact with each other. I don't know if they've made the deal yet, but
well, I want part of the commission on this thing. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to want something.
But somebody who listened to the live show, and
you got to set the stage here. You got to say what it was all about.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to kind of set it up. Yeah.
Back in the dark ages, like 30 years ago. Look, I was a mere
50.
child. Yeah, it's probably actually 50 years ago. It's a long time ago.
Sorry to break it to you.
A guy called and he purchased a lot in California City, California. Now, California City was some guy's grand vision for this planned community in the middle of the Mojave Desert, just north of the Air Force Base.
You get the best of both worlds. You get a lot of sunny days, and you get a lot of loud jets going right over there. Oh, actually,
and
there's a third thing. You get to see
they launch rockets from there.
Not to my knowledge, but anyway, but you also get to see a lot of experimental planes that other people don't get to.
No, that's where the Air Force...
Rockets, Vandenberg.
Oh, is it Vandenberg? Oh, that's right. That's the aircraft.
No, let's not argue Air Force
No,
bases.
we should never do Air Force arguing.
That's one that I can do well.
So
anyway, the purchase was made sometime in the 1970s, I believe.
Right. And the lot, he wanted to sell the lot to get it out of his estate, but there's no market for them. There are
people
lots,
aren't buying
but
middle of
nobody
nowhere.
wants them.
Turns out California has a water thing too, kind of. Might want to pay attention to.
So they actually graded the street so you could go on Google Maps and see the graded streets from 50 years ago because
no water or power
in the desert.
The
desert they never erode because
that's a good
there's
point.
no water. But he couldn't get rid of it, so we suggested he give it to charity.
Yeah,
and then we went, wait, that's not going to work because there are taxes on the property that have to be paid every year. And which charity's going to want to pay taxes?
No, your final suggestion was the right one. Don't pay the taxes. The county will foreclose on it.
Then we got a note from somebody saying, or a call from somebody saying, put him in touch with me. I want to buy it. So I haven't heard back. Did you buy it?
You put the two properties together.
I did.
I mean, the two people together.
I did.
Not two properties. And how many of those? There were like 50,000 of them sold.
Tens of thousands of them. And the whole thing was a scam. It was a total scam.
Sounds like it, yeah.
But I just got an email from someone. Well, I got an email this week from someone who listened to that call, and he found some really interesting information. I'm going to share that after the break. 855-9... 935.
I'm going to put that on my list.
855-935-TALK
California
is our number.
Good place to go.
855-935-8255.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
A second opinion could save your life either physically or fiscally. Let one of our Vestory advisors help you save your future at Vestory.com, Vestory.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
So, as we mentioned before the break, by the way, the phone number is 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. As we mentioned before the break, we talked with a gentleman last week who wanted to unload a lot in California City, California, and
didn't care if he got any money for it.
Care,
I think he
just wanted to get rid of the darn thing.
It's yours, yeah.
So we tried to help him. Like we do. That's what we do. It's our job here at Talking Real Money. We try to help.
I was that close to buying it myself just on spec.
You thought about it, didn't you?
I did. I was like, okay, whatever. It might be worth something.
I'll sell you the silver bullet.
Probably
You could
not.
go park it there.
I could park right there. Run the power cord from downtown Los Angeles out there.
Solar.
Solar, good call. Water
Solar.
might be a little bit of an issue. I don't know. Okay.
You get bottled water. Take the truck out. Anyway, so somebody sent a note saying, hey, that's the way he started it. Hey, I was listening to your show, and it got me curious. I decided to do a little Google search, and this is what I found. I thought you might be interested. It's a website called LAist, LAIST.com, and they did a podcast on California City.
Ah.
And I went to look at the article, and it's great. And
So they did a podcast or they did an article?
An article and a podcast. So they
I'd love to read that. Link it up to our stuff or something.
I'm going to put it on Talking Real Money.
I'm always a step ahead of you.
I'm going to put it at TalkingRealMoney.com in that same section where the 3-Fund Solution is, where we have all the stuff that's connected. It's got a wonderful picture of all the graded lots. It's just fascinating.
Which one's his? I'd like to know.
I don't know. I couldn't tell. Because I'm looking, they talked about the history of the thing. It was in the mid-'50s, a developer by the name of Nat Mendelsohn bought a ton of land out in the Mojave, northeast of Los Angeles, and he was going to build a city of 200 square miles with a golf course, a university, a mall, an airport even.
And they ended up with a McDonald's and no stoplights, I think.
That's right. They ended up with one McDonald's.
Yeah.
He thought that L.A. was too scary. It was a bad place to live, and that California City would be the place everyone would come to. And their sales tactics were a little shady, even so shady that the Federal Trade Commission got involved. But in the end, he had by 1970 he had 3,000 salesmen selling land. Because
they were all getting a 50% commission or something.
I don't know, but they ended up selling 73,000 lots, netting his company a fortune, hundreds of millions of dollars. And basically from the 50s on, nothing ever happened. Nothing.
Well, one thing happened. He got rich and was probably living in beautiful Los Angeles with water and electricity. I'll bet both.
And now for sale signs are all you're going to find in California City. All these for sale signs for all these lots that have been for sale forever.
So I can go to Google Earth and see the for sale signs and nothing else.
You got it. You got it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a link during the bottom of the hour even. I will create a link to this LAist article, and now you can go learn all about California City on your own.
And lesson learned, I mean, speculative. We've got some, if you like that, we've got some speculative land in Panama, maybe, or.
Oh, you're reading that book,
places. Yeah. I love that book.
What's the name
I can't remember the name of it now.
I'll look it up. I'll find it.
Yeah, it's a great book.
It's a book about a Ponzi scheme.
Before Ponzi.
No, actually, it was the same time as Ponzi.
That's true.
But Ponzi got the press. This guy didn't get as much press.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's going to turn out well, but I'm about halfway through it. It's not looking too positive for the people that gave him all the money.
Well, since it was in the 1920s, we can safely say it probably didn't turn out well.
And by the way, this also adds more evidence to our take about real estate. Buy it for lifestyle reasons. Don't buy it for speculative reasons. every speculative deal. Now I know it's different in your neighborhood in beautiful Florida.
Oh yeah, there's never been any real estate speculation in Florida.
Oh, never.
Yeah. Let's see. There was a 19-year-old back in 1977 while on his first honeymoon who bought a piece of swampland in Florida because
resold it.
Good salesman. No, he just stopped paying for it. That'd be me.
Oh,
I got ripped off. I got ripped off in a Florida land sale.
I didn't know this. This is all new to me. I never heard this.
1977.
So do you still own it, or can we run out there by boat or something?
No. Yeah, and it's in a swamp. It's literally in the green swamp, which is the headwaters for the Everglades.
So don't come to you for advice about real estate purchases.
No, you can now because I have the experience under my belt of being ripped off at 19. 855-935-TALK.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Tom and I created Vestory to help everyone become a better investor, even those who will never be clients. Let one of our advisors help you start your financial plan or solve a money problem free with no obligation or high-pressure sales pitch at Vestory.com. Vestory.com.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
So now, if you're interested in the California City story, it's titled, our blog post is titled California City Land Scam. It has a link, not a leak. It has a link to the story so that you all can now read that.
We got one here in Washington, Ocean Shores. The same thing happened.
Was it worthless?
They're going to, and it was the crooner who was involved. I think he's still alive. Pat, forgetting his last name.
Pat Boone?
Pat Boone. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Type in Pat Boone, Ocean Shores. I mean, I think there was a bunch of say it didn't turn out and blah, blah, blah. And it didn't turn out well for anybody. That's my recollection, which you can call me and correct me if you like, because I was very young at the time, but that's my recollection.
Oh, yeah. He was in 1967.
Yeah.
He was a stockholder in Ocean Shores Estates Incorporated.
I mean, it was a similar kind of thing where they're going to have a big thing as the coast, blah, blah, blah. And it didn't, I don't think it really worked out the way they expected. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. But in 1969, Ocean Shores was declared the richest little city in America with an assessed valuation of $35 million and 900 residents.
How's it doing today?
I don't know. I'm reading the past. 855-935-TALK is our phone number, 855-935-8255. And let's see, where was it? It was on Port Brown Peninsula. I don't know where that is. Pat, you're up next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
I hope it's not Pat Boone.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hi,
I want to thank you for making me one of the smartest people in my circle about finances, which is why everybody comes to me about questions. You had, well, I don't know who wrote it, but you often recommended, I believe, a book that had a table in the back of it on, depending on which company you worked for, how to allocate your retirement.
Oh, no, not a book. It's a website.
Oh, okay. What's the website?
401-411.com.
Okay, 401.
What company? Yep. What company are you looking for?
One of my coworkers. I'm retired now. One of my former coworkers just moved jobs, and she's gone to Virginia Mason.
I think that's up there. Don has the web in front of him, but
I just wanted to.
I think we've looked at the plan before. So, by the way, people can go there, but you can also send us your plan. It's been a little slow getting to all those because had a lot of activity, a lot of work to do. So if it's not.
It's
Pat,
not.
They can go to the website and they can actually send us the plan. All we need is a list of mutual funds, and then we build, an aggressive portfolio, a moderate portfolio, and a conservative portfolio, and we put them up there. I'm surprised Virginia Mason's not, because for some reason I remember seeing it, but it may have been for a client.
Yeah. The V's are Valley Medical, VIAD, Village Life, Visionary Office Furniture, and Verizon. That's all the V's.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm going to make an apology. Those get outdated because we only update them when somebody gives us new information.
Yeah. So if your plan is up there and it's not what it is currently, We don't continually update them. We just put them up at when somebody sends us.
We have
the
no
plan.
way. We don't know way to know. Yeah.
Right. We wouldn't know. So you'd have to let us know, and then we'll redo it. So,
but we have other major firms, Boeing and Costco and
Microsoft, sure, all the big ones.
Yeah.
So like Nordstrom's up there.
Yeah.
Port of Seattle, Delta Airlines, Alaska
Airlines. Sure.
Yeah. Bank of America, AT&T, American Express.
Pat, and by the way, thank you for your kind comment.
You've heard of them,
Amazon.
You heard of them?
Yeah, Amazon has that nice feature that some of the big ones do where you can put money in post-tax so you can save up to $58,000 a year.
And
in a retirement plan, which is astounding.
They use a lot of Vanguard. That's good.
They actually have it's a good plan, not a
the
great
best
plan.
Who would you think in the Pacific Northwest, of all the plans you've looked at, which company plan did you go, oh, that one, that's a great plan? It
was a national one where they had a mix of dimensional funds, Vanguard, and they had every asset covered.
Northwest.
Well, Boeing has a very good plan.
But
they don't have all the asset classes I'd like to see. But it's very good. The costs are very low. It's fairly diversified. Gosh, you're putting me on the spot here.
It's just a.
Yeah.
You would not be a very good interview.
That's why I'm usually on the other side of the microphone.
This is like the second time this week that I've asked you a question and you go,
I don't know.
I don't think about this stuff.
I don't think about that.
You're a terrible interview because, you should be like quick. You go, Boeing.
Okay, for now on, then I had interviewed a guy on TV once who gave a one-word answer to everything. I was like, this could be a very long 9 minutes, nope.
Or just
maybe.
Plead the fifth.
Advice of counsel. By the way, it's an Alford plea. That's what we were trying to come up with the other day. Alford plea. Couldn't remember that one.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Want a free copy of my book, Financial Physics? Well, go download it right now at vestory.com. VESTORY.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Yeah, 855-935-TALK is our phone number. And I want to apologize. Tom has a rare neurological disease that causes him to...
They call it Tourette's or something?
No, it's weirder than that because he blurts out legal concepts.
I know, because...
he just blurts out like, Alford plea? Okay. You know what the problem is with him blurting out Alford plea? There's no context. It was context-free for the listeners.
Well, because I felt really dumb when we talked about this on the podcast this week. We were talking about
Thursday.
Financial firms that write a check and then say, well, we're admitting nothing. We're writing a $100 million check just because, that's just a good idea, right? It helps people. No, they did do something. And I said I was tired of this aspect of guilty pleas, air quotes, checks.
Yeah.
And I was trying to remember the concept in criminal law, I believe it is criminal law, where you can enter a plea of guilty, but still say, I didn't really do it, but I'm going to go ahead and plead guilty. I couldn't remember the name. And that's why I blurted out Alford plea, because it just came to me. So that's what happens.
And just for a little background, the Alford plea is based on a 1970 Supreme Court case where the court stated, quote, the defendant may voluntarily, knowingly, and understandingly consent to the imposition of a prison sentence, even if he is unwilling or unable to admit his participation in the acts constituting the crime. That's an Alford plea.
There you go. And it was out of nowhere. I fully admit that. I apologize for that.
And you do it going right into a break. And you do it.
I know.
It's
you're like, what?
We got a break.
What the heck is that?
It's a hard break.
Okay.
So we can't
I'm
help.
sorry.
It's like I was almost going to pull a commercial out. Just go, I'm sorry, we're not doing the commercial. So we got to explain.
Got to take this up and what the heck are you talking about? All right. Alford.
Alford. A-L-F-O-R-D.
Yeah, F-O-R-D. We're letting it go. That's good. It's over.
Goodbye,
but
Alfred.
It does allow us to continue the conversation about,
I don't know.
No eye rolling. That's what they say is bad for a relationship when one party rolls their eyes. And you can't see it, but he's rolling them again. About hiring a financial advisor.
I got to turn off the screen.
I can see that.
Yeah,
there's a certain segue there.
There's a huge segue there because that's where we started was with bad advisors who can, just as a cost of doing business, basically get away with taking advantage of you, with ripping you off. They get away with it all the time. And it's generally these gigantic firms that manage tens of billions or hundreds of billions of trillions in many cases of dollars. They manage all this money, and they can lie, cheat, and steal, and yet they get a slap on the wrist when they get caught. And it behooves you. You have to be not just skeptical, but you have to be almost downright cynical when it comes to dealing with most of the financial advice community.
But I think also what it does is it convinces a lot of people who might hire an advisor not to do it. And many times you still need one. And some of this comes from Clark Howard.
But you got to find a good one.
Piece.
How do you find a good one, Clark?
I mean, in his, he says you got to make sure he or she is a fiduciary. Well, we think that is good.
Mm-hmm.
Fee only, that is good. No commissions, that is good. But after that, I mean, it's the whole world. Everybody says they're a fiduciary today, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, the key is, are they 100% fiduciary?
And it's
always. Most of them not.
It's fascinating. It used to be good enough to just say, are they a fiduciary? Nope. But now we have to parse that down to 100% always acting as a fiduciary because of all of the bald-faced lying that goes on in the financial services industry. And I want to ask all of you the two of you who are in the financial services industry who still listen to us because you want to hear what we have to say about you.
Torn out the radio out of the car.
The rest of you hate us. Those of you who still listen, why do you continue to do this? Does it make it's the money?
Why do they say it, or
why do you keep lying? But why? But don't you feel bad?
I think people can always justify things like, no, I did it for this reason. I mean, no different than
Isn't that
Leo, right? Who stole the money in the book. He justifies it.
But isn't that
immoral?
Beyond
illegal?
immoral. Beyond immoral. I mean, sociopathic. Psychopathic.
Well, weren't you the one telling me that a good boss has to be a psychopath or something?
Oh, it's fascinating. It was
I don't know.
This American Life. I love This American Life. Great podcast. And one of their reporters or a contributor interviewed Al, the guy at Sunbeam. You know the guy who
Al Hacksaw, Chainsaw, I forget the last name.
I can't remember his name.
I can look it up.
But they were going on and on with him going, do you consider yourself a psychopath? And he goes, no, I'm just a good businessman. And so he goes through the list of all the traits of psychopaths and he goes, yeah, I have those, but I don't call them psychopathic. That's just good business.
That is good business. I'm trying to find him here, but Dunlap.
Prior to that, he ripped Scott Paper to shreds.
Sunbeam. Yeah.
He was the hatchet man at Scott Paper.
He ripped the paper in half. Got it. Okay, that's funny. That deserves
and then he gave Sunbeam a buzz cut. I don't know if they made razors. I'm just hoping they made an electric razor. I think they did. But anyway, anyway.
But by the way, he got his education at West Point, so hope that helps a bit.
So apparently you can get into West Point if you're a psychopath.
I don't know. I didn't say that. I'm going to let you say it.
He's dead now.
Okay, back. Yeah, he's been gone for a few years. I mean, let's go back to the financial advisor thing, because the reason I brought this up is most of you, you need one. You got to find the right one. Most of you wait until we know this because you call us. I just came into money. I got to figure it out. Okay, that's reasonable. But even Clark Howard overlooks the number one reason I think you should have one. If you're 50 years old or older, even if you're really smart about all of this, even if you've read the books and you've built the portfolios and you know about all this stuff, I'm telling you, a good advisor, hire them or not, should give you a few things to think about your plan to make sure you're thinking all that through, right? Whether it's Roth conversion, all the rest of it. So yeah, that sounds kind of serious, but I'd say within 10 years of retirement, absolutely have one.
All right. During your discussion there, I just did a little Google search. There was in 2011, there was a study done by the University of St. Gallen, and a couple of MBA students compared the decisions made by stock, derivative, and foreign exchange traders, and they compared it to a computer they created a computer simulation, laying that up against 24 known psychopaths in high-security hospitals in Germany. And
who won?
Not only do the traders, this quote, according to Der Spiegel, not only do the traders match their counterparts in the mental hospitals, but the stockbrokers' behavior was more reckless and manipulative than that of the psychopaths. So maybe stockbrokers.
This isn't our study, just so you know. This is from Der Spiegel.
This is from the University of St. Gallen in Germany.
What year?
2011.
Wow.
And they
study for you.
They basically said that stockbrokers, traders, and the like were worse than psychopaths. Well, that explains,
no one's a stockbroker
that explains
anymore,
a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much.
Thanks.
Yikes.
That just fascinates me. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Is your portfolio a mess? You may have a case of hodgepodgeitis, but don't worry, we can help. Just set up a free, no-obligation meeting with a Vestory advisor at Vestory.com. No sales pitch, guaranteed. That's Vestory.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Oh my gosh. Same article in Forbes. In 1996, a crime correspondent for The Independent noted that, quote, stockbrokers share many of the same characteristics as criminal psychopaths. And that same year, a university in Scotland said that, quote, with the right parenting, psychopaths can become successful stockbrokers instead of serial killers. If you want to avoid a psycho stockbroker and get some fiduciary help and get it for free, with no obligation, no sales pitch, no bother. We're not a bunch of salespeople. Just go to Vestory.com and set up an appointment to meet with one of our advisors for a few minutes. We'll do it for nothing. If you want to become a client, we'll charge you. But if you just want a little help, a little more than we can give on the show, we'll do it for free. Just go to Vestory.com and set up an appointment. Vestory.com.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately, consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestory, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. That's a wrap.